Hi all, right back with more Red Storm, Dark Blue Defection Scenario 4, Iron Eagle. Okay, I've got that part 15 being put together just now, and I came straight back to start part 16. So I was double checking about the initiative, and no, I was wrong. We have actually moved. It was Zelenko flight that moved first. I think he attempted BVR on Cobra, and nothing came of it. However, his buddy Siskov made up for it. Well, giving us a crippled aircraft result. However, even worse still, we're also in a disordered state. So, anyway, so that is their initiative over. So it is going to be our initiative next. What do we have to move? We've moved. Who's this? This is Saints. That's one of the F-16 flights. Yeah, I've got Silver Fox. Yeah, I've got something to... excuse me. We've got something to be doing here. I think Silver Fox was going to... I was looking back on some of this, realising that... Yeah, my thinking had been to come for this first would have been the better idea, I think. But, however, I think the position we're in now... We're going to have to go for this, move our bombers into position, and then next turn, hopefully Silver Fox or Saint even can have a go, or maybe both of them if it comes to have a go at the airfield. And then that's kind of everything. Well, that's depending on the results, but we'll see. Okay, and there was a few comments. I didn't want to mention it in that last part because I felt like that bit just needed to get finished off. Now, I'm not sure if I mentioned the comments John made in part 12. I looked over them and I think I might have commented about them. I've replied to them, started trying to catch up with some of his comments and jot some answers down as well. But I think there's 2 or 3 that I've left a comment saying, look, I've discussed them on a future video. So I do get around to talking about everything. Anyway, let's just go on. This is part 13. And he just a few comments here. He said that there's only 4 max turn zoom climb markers in the game, which is kind of surprising. There's loads of counters in the game. Whether that's something that I don't know. I could just see you needing more of them, to be honest. Maybe not so much the zoom climb side, but I'm assuming that's what they're all on. They're on the zoom climb side. The max turn markers. Yeah. So I guess oops. Moving things about there, Grant. Careful. Yeah. Well, anyway, he says there is only 4 in the game. He said, what about using a different colour cube to signify finished? Finished as in finished max turn as opposed to just finished. Which I thought was a great idea at first, and not that it's not a good idea, John, but then I realised that I would have to leave the marker on it. So let's just say I used well, I've not really got any cubes there. I would use the similar ones. Use the red one, you know, to signify that, like these were signified finish, where this one would have a red cube because it was a max turn finish. But it would mean I would need to leave the cube on until I move the actual flight next turn. So I'll see though. I'll see if I maybe might use that, because I can see the need for more max turn markers anyway, for sure. Okay, next one. He says it is generally true that Warsaw Pact favours standard combat while NATO favours BVR, but it depends on a lot of factors, including which aircraft each side has. Yeah, he brought up this before. I think he might have gave a more detailed description of how they work, but that's fine. SAMs have a light A barrage zone in their hex, but that's only effective up to medium. Right, I think I knew that one, didn't I? Yeah, the actual SAM, I think I talked about the fact that pretty sure it's light A. Yeah. Okay, I'm glad John brought this one up. I haven't went and started looking at this yet, but I should have looked at this. He says SAMs can only launch once per turn, except Patriot and SA-12 are phased array SAMs that can acquire/attack 2 flights per turn. Also, a reminder that a given flight can only be subject to 2 radar SAM attacks, but as many infrared SAM attacks are possible / provoked. This is why the bot SAM acquisition instructions work the way they do. Going to look into that a little bit more myself, but there we go. I think I was speaking about it at the time, and then I replied to him saying that now this is something I should have looked into. I'm getting more lazy when I know you're going to answer these for me. So yeah, I think I've noticed that a couple of times. Just sort of lay the question out there, and rather than go and look for it in the rules myself. So I'll try and stop that. Next one, a flight can start with enemy flights freely. Also recall that each altitude band is not really a single altitude. Yeah, I get all this. I mean, and again, same thing where we were talking. If I jump back to here, and I've already commented that I've thought that I might not stack these together if I ever split a flight because it's 2 friendly flights at the same altitude. But I mean, hold on here. I mean, we're at the same altitude, and these have split. These have all been sitting. There's been 4. No. Yeah, there was 4 aircraft in that flight, wasn't there? Was there? Yeah. So these have all been set. Well, one of them got shot down actually, but so there's 3 aircraft sitting together, and then they're going to split into 2 flights. You know, they can still stay in the same bat. They know what they're doing. Yeah. So anyway, so yeah. So he's just explaining there. I just said, yeah, it makes sense. This is I'm talking about my Condor flight, and I never really studied this that carefully because I didn't think it mattered too much. But he was saying I think I was 7 hexes away from the front there, because I'm maybe counting that as being the front, where it's 1 hex in from that is the front, isn't it? So 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I would have been in there right enough, or there would have been 7 away. So I probably could have turned into there. I just didn't really study it well enough, but he says I could have done that way, so fair enough. Okay, and then he says, yeah, skip any phases that don't make sense, or you know, if you feel like there's certain bits that are just they're just wasting time in the actual scenario. You've got past that stage, so I says I'm going to maybe try and do that a bit, and try and move things out. I mean, yeah, I think he's commented about, I've got them both, the 2 stacks of them over there, the 2 SAMs with the dice on the top, but I think he talks about, yeah, you're as well taking them away. I think that's just in the next part. So give me a sec to find that. Yeah, it was just a couple of comments from part 14 just to finish with. I haven't replied to these yet. I should. There's only 2 of them, so I should do that, but I'll speak about them here. Now, I'll get to the first one in a minute. I'll just talk about the second one. He says, yeah, the dice are unnecessary on the 2K22 and the other SAM. Oh yeah, I forgot that. One of them's a SAM, one of them's a 2K22. He says they're unnecessary. They will not come back in for the duration of the scenario. I'd be tempted just to remove them entirely to reduce the number of counters. So that's what I kind of wanted to do, but just, I suppose, wanted that sort of... Yeah, John to come along and say, yeah, it's fine, you're not going to see them again. So it gets them out of the way, and of course you can see there is quite a lot of clutter going on now, and we're having to put markers on the cards, etc. Okay, and then, yeah, the first comment he's made is regarding our attack on the 2K22. And yeah, I totally missed this. He says, I'm fairly certain that the 2K22 still has to do the morale check to see if they involuntarily shut down the radar. It is just the voluntary shutdown that mobile AA like the 2K22 cannot do. Note that the design note is after the voluntary shutdown section, but before the involuntary shutdown section. Sorry, it's after the voluntary shutdown section, but before the involuntary shutdown section. Yeah, I think I did say that. Okay, so he says he's fairly certain about this, so he's maybe not 100% sure, so but by the way, that's not mean that I'm trying to challenge what you're saying here, John, because I totally didn't think about it at all. So I've not gone around and having a look at that, so maybe I'll just have a glance at it just now, so give me a sec. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's right here as well, because the way it is, noted. This is on page 33 of the rules, 17.53 radar shutdowns. Provided the launching flight is detected, the player targeted by the arm may voluntarily shut down fire can, SAM and or EWR radars in the launching flight's forward hemisphere the moment an armed weapon is launched. Mobile AA may not voluntarily shut down. Okay, and that's what we had. 2K22 is a mobile AAA. So it cannot voluntarily shut down. Now, we already said they want to keep the radars on at all times. And then there's a wee design note that explains the reasoning for that. However, then goes on, and this is the bit that I've not read on and followed up. If the player does not or cannot voluntarily shut down the targeted radar, roll an arm morale check immediately after the target is declared to see if the target radar crew detects a launch and turns off the radar. Roll an arm morale check for each arm shot launched at the target. If the roll is 5 or less, the radar shuts down. Add 1 to the roll if the launching flight is undetected. Well, it was not. Subtract 1 for the roll if the arm is launched from 10 or greater hexes. You know what? I can't recall. I need to look back on this. And then it would mark it with a shutdown marker. Well, that could have caused some issues, couldn't it? Because that would have given them the minus die roll, wouldn't it? I'm not sure I can go back and do anything about this. I could have the die roll to see. What am I looking for here? It's the attack against it, isn't it? I'm struggling to find what I'm looking for. SAM attack, no. Give me a second. Yeah, it's when we go to do the attack. Because if the radar is shut down, we get a -6, don't we? And we didn't take that -6 because we didn't think the radar could shut down at all. But basically what John's reminding me of, it can't voluntarily shut down. However, it can still involuntarily shut down. Well, the problem with this is, Grant, if you go back and I need to check the numbers here. Can I do anything about this? I don't even remember where it was. Actually, I think it was in here somewhere, wasn't it? I could probably fix this. Ooh, well, maybe not. Cobra's just moved in there. Well, to be honest, it is something I think you need to try and deal with, Grant, really. Right, well, I'll tell you what I could do. We could roll a dice to see if the radar shut down, and we might get lucky, and I'll show you this die roll on camera, and I'm not going to mess about with it. So we're going to roll 1 dice, and we're going to... Well, there's no modifiers. What was the modifiers again? Here we are here. Arm, morale check and sequence. Yeah, if it was detected. No, sorry. It's a +1 if the launching flight it was undetected. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. Pretty sure all our flights have been detected for quite some time now. Well, apart from Cobra just going undetected now. But you know what? Before that, anyway. And it was not within 10. It was not greater than 10 hexes away. So I'm going to roll a die here, and we're going to hope that this doesn't fail, and we're going to hope we roll greater than a 5. And then I think that gets us to the same result. So, right, so 1 die, we're looking for greater than a 5. Here we go. Oh God, right, okay. Right, that's a 1 and not a 7, which I'd hoped for. Okay, so... Right, let me go back and have a look at the die roll we rolled then. Because there's a -6 to this die roll now. Okay, well, this is a disaster. Yeah, because our first the dial on this goes really well. Yeah, I forgot. I should have just clicked on the link. John's got everything timestamped, and then I just watch it from there. So yeah, our modifiers down here were +3 for the harm, and that's all I gave us, right? Because nothing else applied. Um, yeah, that's right, and it was the 2K22 we were firing at. However, I didn't give us a -6, which it should have, as we'll roll the die now and got that horrible result. The radar would have been shut down. Okay, so what we've got now is a -3 rather than a +3 roll, because +3 and -6 is -3. Now, I rolled really well. I rolled 17. Obviously, I added a +3 to make that 20. However, I should have been subtracting 3 from 17 to get 14. So the result was actually a 2 rather than a 4. Okay, and then when we turn over here to do the damage, this is where the die roll went terrible again. Because I was looking at the 4, where I should have been looking at the 2, and we actually rolled a 5. And a nasty 5. We only ended up with a slight result. The actual result should have been no effect. So yeah, I'm going to go and fix that, and I think I can do so. Right, so it's in hex 5841. You know where that is? It's right on top of Cobra. It's right where Cobra is. However, I have just realised that it is obviously shut down. Now this... when did this happen? Well, this was only in the last part. Is this the attack that Saints just made? It will be, won't it? Yeah, because it was only in part 14. So I think Saint launched his harm, and then he turned away. I think so. I think that's right. Okay, so let's bring this 2K22 back. I'll take the dice off. And that's a Sam. Right, well, I'm going to disable them anyway. Like John says. So hang on, I've got radar suppressed. Radar shut down. So this isn't suppressed. No, it's not. It's shut down. So what we've got here is this 2K22 in the off position. In there, with a radar shutdown marker on it, and Cobra is, well, Cobra scattered into that hex, facing that side. He's at medium altitude. The good thing is he's at medium altitude anyway, but that's irrelevant because the radar's shut down anyway. But 2K22s can't fire at medium anyway. However, that's still trouble, isn't it? Because, well, unless the radar stays shut down, because they're going to have to roll for that, aren't they? Because that's right in our... Well, I did kind of consider that I might be able to avoid that. I might be able to hit the... is that... No, that's on the edge. That's the actual hex of the runway, isn't it? Yeah, hit that and then maybe turn sort of around and avoid it. I don't know if that's possible or not. Okay, so that's what should have happened. It should have shut down involuntarily. We should have done that. Well, we should have done that morale check to see if it shut down involuntarily. And it did, and then we end up with that result. So yeah, not great, but was repairable. And to be honest, that is something extra that goes against us. So I don't want to miss these things, you know. And we've had a bad combat as well. So yeah, things looking even worse. So it's not going all rosy red here. It was looked like it was everyone was perfect, to be honest, but now it's not. Okay, let's move on. That's, I think, all John's comments. Don't think there was anything else to discuss. So, right, well, we don't have any harm missiles left. On saying that 2K22's got its radar shut down anyway, so we can't... Oh, yeah. Well, no, we can't. We can't attack it. Well, you've got that preemptive thing, but I'm not going there. I don't think that works. So... Well, I guess the next plan was Silver Fox trying to take on this Sam. Yeah? And if he is able to do that with one EOGM, if we take the chance and just use one, then we possibly could come and attack that with an EOGM, couldn't we? And we wouldn't need that to be switched on to do that, I think. I may need to look into that. Well, hold on. We've not drawn a chit yet either. So, right, okay. It is our initiative to draw a chit. So let's do that. And, well, it doesn't matter. Their two main flights have moved now anyway, so... It doesn't really matter if we miss out here. Well, that's a 4, so generally a 2 in the back. Yeah, so we've got a 2 small. So we're going to move Silver Fox. And he's going to have a go at this infrared SAM, which we've not activated yet, but we're about to. So, now this is the EOGMs, right? So that's 3 hexes away, and then attack from 1 or 2 hexes away. We need to be at, well, we can be at medium altitude, but the infrared SAM, well, we're better staying at medium because it's worse for him, us being at medium, isn't it? Rather than low. Yeah, the modifiers he gets are worse. So I think we stay at medium. Right, Silver Fox, F-16 laid in at medium altitude. There's a speed of 3 only. Which I think is probably fine, isn't it? 1 fact, yeah, I might... well, I don't know. Do I want to... If I want to move 2 hexes... that would just put me in here. Well, I'd set my IP there and then I'd launch there. And, right, hang on, what was John's comment about? I can only get attacked once. It's not every movement. That's what he was... Where is that in the rules? Yeah, there we go. I mean, John just spoke about this. Well, I just mentioned his comment. Page 26, 15.31, SAM fire prerequisites. SAMs may fire no more than once per game turn, and the exception is the phased array radar SAMs. So yeah, so they can only fire once per turn. Right, that's fine. So yeah, we can't really avoid this. I don't think. So do I just want to move 2 hexes? And do I want to just launch 1 EOGM? That's a tricky bit here. I mean, because we've got this other infrared SAM up here, but it is after the bomb run. I think this one's maybe more important. Yeah, but hold on, Grant. You're wanting to do something about this runway as well, aren't you? Or do we just ignore this SAM and use Saint to go for the runway with 2 EOGMs and I need to look at I think I'll need to look at the charts to find out what my chances are here, I think. Right, give me a second. Yeah, there's one right away. EOGM attack from medium. We get a -2 modifier. So I think I'm probably better dropping to low, taking my chances. I know it means that the Sam's going to have a slightly better chance. Well, hang on. No. If I stay at medium, can I do that though? I can't do all that, can I? If I stay at medium when I move into that hex, then he's gonna. No, actually, no, he's not gonna until we move in there, is he? It's when I'm 2 hexes away anyway. Yeah, that doesn't matter then, Grant. Well, it depends. If I was firing 2 of them, then maybe I'd take my chance with that. Sam attack, possible hat result during bomb run. Well, let's hope that doesn't apply. A modifiers that won't be good contrast. No. EOG attack on target profile A. I don't think so. What are they? They're Bs, right? That's fine. Attack at night. EOG Warsaw Pack, EOGM attack. So the only modifier, well, I hope that we would get would be -2 from medium. And if I avoid that one, drop to low, and if I only fire 1, then I need at least a die roll of 7 to get a 1 result. Less than a 7. This is 2 dies. But I mean, to get a 3, I only need a 12. You know? And then a 3 is a pretty good chance of result. Yeah, I think we'll maybe just fire 1. I think so. But I also think I want to drop to low and take my chances. Eek. Well, maybe I should look at the numbers about him hitting me first. Okay, so glance at the Sam attack. I know I'm not showing you. Well, I'm gonna have to show you this in a minute anyway. So I'm just talking out loud here. The modifiers are the altitude modifier. Oh, hang on. Now this is the one that's. Yeah, this is the one that we ignore the first 2 modifiers because. No, hang on. We don't ignore them, Grant. We just use what's on the doodah. Yeah, okay. I'm meaning this. This is. Remember, I messed this up before because these are all built in. So the altitude modifier. For us, if we went to low. For what is an SA13? I'm just looking at the chart here. The altitude modifier at low is 0. Is that right? Oh, hang on. But they are going to be 2 hexes away. So still can't work that out. I mean, I don't need to look at that, do I? It's a long range thing. Yeah, hang on, Grant. It's a long range thing as well. So they're going to be at long range, aren't they? Yeah, I'm going to have to look at this as well, am I? Because long range, there's a chance they might not even attack, isn't there? Oh, you know what? I'm just going to go in at this rather than messing about here. I'm only going to go in with 1 missile. I'm going to see if we can. I don't know. I think we should be able to get something out of this unless we roll terribly. So, okay, I'm moving over, folks. I'm moving on with. Yeah, I'm just going to move him with 3 speed, I think. His combat throw all the way done. At medium altitude is 3. So he can't turn to start with. I'll just take that away. So he moves 1. And then he sets his IP. Bomb and run. Still at. No, hang on. He's also going to drop too low, is he? I I think so. I just don't want that -2, but I know it's... The thing is, if we stay at medium, he gets a -3 to his roll, and we get a -2 to ours, and if I drop to low, I don't get any modifier, and he gets a -1. Right. Yeah, I'm going to freely descend to low. Okay, so that's us starting our bomber run. And we've got 2 movement points. So I'm going to move 1 into there, and I've got 1 movement point left. And this is where things happen. So, well, first of all, we're within 2 of him, so he activates. And we know he's a SAM. We know he's an SA13 now. I don't think we need that marker anymore, do we? I don't think so, no. Right, so that happens, and then he's going to attempt to fire. However, that long range, he's at range 2, which is his long range. Yeah, I'm not going to try and work out the numbers. I'm going to use the cards because that's confusing me a little bit, this long range. But we do need to check. Now, where's that? Is that in the play rate card 5? I think it is. I think we need to check if they're going to attempt it at long range, don't we? But I think there's a die roll for this. This cat frick. This charts everywhere again. Bought SAM activation. Done all that. Right, here we go. Roll 1d10 before long range SAM attack. And his long range is at 2. It says that on the card. Well, it said that on that chart anyway. Now I've lost the chart I was looking at. I'm all here. Yeah, I'm looking at the SAMs. Right, let me show you this. So yeah, we're looking at this chart, and basically this chart is like the cards, isn't it? And this is where the confusing bit in here. But the long range says 2, but I don't think it doesn't say. Well, I suppose it's got range 0 there and then range 2. So my guess that that must be its long range. Yeah, it is, and the normal range is 0. So it's either 2 for long range, or my guess is 0 and 1 is not long range. And yeah, because that was the same. If we look at the SA11, their long range is 10, 9, and 8. And then I said, well, it must be between 1 and 7 is not long range. And John did come back and reply to that and saying, yeah, that's right. So does that show on that chart somewhere? Sorry, we've got some focus issues there. SA11. I'm just looking at SA11. It's 8 to 10 is long range. Yeah, so I suppose that shows it there. So the long range is 2. So if I'm anything less than that, he doesn't need to care about rolling or whatever. But he does roll on this one. And it's this chart. Well, sorry, it's not this chart. It's this here that tells us this. Yeah, bot SAMs will not. No, that. Regular SAM attacks only, no salvos. Roll 1d10 before long range SAM attack. Odd equals attack, even equals no attack. So we've got a chance here that it might not even attack at range 2. Now, we do still have a movement point. However, we are going to launch our missiles from here before we use that other movement point. So we could get away with this. Okay, so I'm going to roll 1d10, and we don't want odd. We'd rather have an even result here. Here we go. Even. Yes. Okay. Well, good. So he's not going to attack because of that. Seems maybe... But the thing is, he'd rather attack. But the fact we can attack him, yeah, I don't know. Look, there's got to be some... I I think that's right. I think that means he's not gonna go for it, okay? So we are going to attack him, however. So we're on here, we're at a range 2, we drop to low altitude. We're going to take our chances and fire 1 EOGM. We have 2. I'm going to mark off. This is Silver Fox, isn't it? I'm going to mark off aircraft number 3 firing his EOGM missile at a range of 2. I'm just bringing up that bit in the rulebook just to see. IP 3 hexes away, 1 or 2 hexes away, can't attack from high. Yeah, apply EOGM profile modifiers. Right, okay. So we've got EOGM profile modifier. Yeah, I think that just means these, doesn't it? Right, so our EOGM column is here. Like I say, worst case scenario, we want a 7 result. That would give us a 1 success. But obviously, the bigger number, the better. And there's our modifiers there. Haze Mist, no. EOGM attack from medium, no. We drop to low to take a chance for that. There's no modifiers for barrage and etc. SAM attack possible hit result, well, no. He chose not to attack at long range. And it's not a profile A, it's profile B. So no modifiers apply. So we're going to roll on this, and hopefully the 1 missile is going to be enough. Right, here we go. Oh my gosh. Is that a 1 or a 7? It's a 1. That's good. That's a whole lot of nothing, isn't it? Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. Oh dear. I don't suppose I could fire this other myself and move again, can I? I might be able to. John's maybe shaking his head right now saying, no, you had your chance. I get the feeling once I've launched this, that's that. I think I'm trying to make up some rules here to help me out. Well, let me pause just now and just have a look and see if this is something that could be done. Right, well, I figured it'd be at the beginning of air-to-ground attacks. So page 31, 17.1 attacks. An attack means conducting a bomb run, launching arms, or launching cruise missiles. In general, a flight may only conduct 1 attack against 1 target in a game turn. So if you think about how that is, that's 1 attack, not 2 attacks, right? 1 attack against 1 target. Well, I was wanting to attack the same target again, and in the same turn. However, I think that classes as me launching 2 attacks. I think I would have to start another bomb run. It's just, I suppose, I'm thinking I might be able to do it because we need to be within 1 or 2 hexes. So I'm within 2 hexes now. I've fired 1 missile. And I thought maybe I might be able to sort of say, well, I've got 1 more movement point to move, then I can fire my next missile. But I don't think I can do that. It says, although the single attack on a target may include more than 1 shot of a PGM. And that's what I could have done. I could have fired both EOGMs. And then it talks about sub-targets, which is a different thing. But yeah, I'm going to say that tells me that I cannot do what I'd like to be able to do. And there you go. If things like that happen, then yeah. That was silly of me, wasn't it? well, was it? Well, I don't know. It was a terrible die roll, that's all. Okay, well, I suppose, I mean, here was me thinking I'll just have to move one hex ahead, but generally what I should be doing is just not doing that and turning away from this. Our bombers are waiting to come in now as well, though, and they've got to move. Well, I suppose I could circle them around in here. Okay, so if that last movement point, now I moved at a speed of 3, so I'll get a 120 degree turn, I want to say. I'm not going to look at it. That is a 120 degree turn, Grant. Well, I think I'd be better doing that, wouldn't I? So this, well, yeah. So hang on. So last movement point, 30, 60, 90, yeah, I'll just turn 90 degrees. So that's my last movement point, but see when I've done, and I also finish with a max turn, I'm going to take that bomber on marker off. When I've turned there, this could check for attack again, but this is where John kind of house ruled the fact that you would only do one long range attack attempt per turn, but I feel like I'm kind of dodging my way out of this because, well, you can see that I'm clearly going to try and avoid. However, hang on, Grant. That's not going to save you, is it? That's not going to save you at all, because you're going to have to then move into this hex next turn. And that's 2 away. He's going to check again. Well, it's still better than moving within 1, isn't it? And if I move in there, can I not then do another 120 degree turn and once you set that bomber run, is that the thing you can't turn? I think it is. Wait a sec. Yeah, when I set my IP, I cannot turn. I've got to move straight in. Oh dear gosh. Well, he was me thinking this scenario was coming to a close quite soon, but it's all kind of went a bit pear-shaped. Should I turn that extra point then? I don't think it matters, because if I'm facing along the spine there, my next move into that hex, he can still say that I'm in that hex and carry out that check, but yeah, but what? No, 1. So what I'd like to do is move 1 into there, and then no, I think I do. I think I'll do 1 to turn, and I need to come in and come around, I think. Yeah, this is really messing things up. Okay. Yeah, and like I said, because I've spent a movement point and within 2 hexes, he would check again about firing, but you know, I think this is the one that, well, the thing is, it doesn't say it in the rules, and I feel bad about not doing this check, because, you know, John said he would only do it once per turn. I just feel like we should be doing this check again. Hang on. Yeah, it just kind of feels like I should do this, really. So I know what John was saying, and it maybe makes more sense for the SA11, the fact that you're at range 10, you know, you're at range 10, you're doing a check, and then you're moving to range 9, you're getting closer, you're doing a check, moving to range 8, doing a check. It's more likely that they're going to fire and they're going to get all these big bad modifiers. This feels slightly different, and I feel like I should be doing this. But have you not just got to stick with these rules, Grant? Well, to be honest, I am. In all honesty, it's John that had decided that he felt like that was a house rule. Yeah, I can understand SA11 at 10, 9 and 8. I get that, but this is slightly different, this one. Or maybe was he meaning that and not the infrared ones, possibly? Okay, well, I'm going to do this check. I'm going to do this. So, because we spent on our movement point, they're going to check, and we're still at long range. He's going to check to see if he might fire this time at 2x's away. So let's do that. So he needs it's just an odd roll, doesn't it? Roll 1d10. Odd is attack, even is not attack. Right, here we go. Oh, he's rolled even again then. Okay. Well, at least we've done it. So he's not going to attack then. Okay, that kind of something for us, I suppose. Yeah, right, well, that Silver Folk's done his thing. Not very well. And it's turned away, and yeah. Okay. Now, hang on, we've got 2 of initiative. So that's... Well, we moved Saint, Cobra, and Silver Folk, so we moved all our main... Yeah, it's really our bomber. Well, I can do that and finish off. To be honest, I've not really got any time left, but it's just going to be moving my bomber, isn't it? So the bomber he's at high altitude. I think we might have to start stalling him now. Because, yeah, we need to give the F6. I mean, obviously Saint could turn in here, but his next target was going to be for the runway. So not the runway, the AAA on the airfield. Then we've still got this 2K22 in here now as well. And this SA13. What's the bomber's speed at high? Laden is 3, isn't it? We could reduce that to 2. So 1, 2. Oh yeah, I can't. Well, I can turn, can't I? I don't need to. I need to follow the waypoints, but I need to stay within 2 of the waypoints. So I think it's okay. Because if I move 1, 2, if I'm in that hex there, my next move, well, to be honest, I suppose I could. At speed 2, you don't get about something like 180 degree turn. I could just reverse. Well, you know what I mean. Turn around at speed 2. Yeah, I could do a 180 turn. Okay, let's just, because I don't have the time either. It's come to the end of the night, so I'm going to move 1, 2 into there, staying at high altitude then. Yeah, it's keeping out of the infrared. Sam's, yeah, and we're on our flight. We're still on our waypoint. Yeah, I'll just do that. And now that max turn is for that guy. That's our bomber move. That's our 2 initiative up. So it's going to be Warsaw Pact next. Yeah, it's been a bit of a dismal sort of... Yeah, here was me really looking forward. I've been itching to come down and sit down to that. However, it's made it more interesting. It's put a spanner in the works a bit, I think. And also Cobra's kind of in a bit of bother. And their fighters are still out there, going to cause more bother for us. Yeah. Right, I'll leave it at that. It's going to be Warsaw Pact's initiative next. I mean, admittedly, they've only got their flights are just trying to get out of there, and that's a bit of a, yeah, to be honest, we could probably take them off the map as well, couldn't we? But no, I will move them. And then we've got our, yeah, to be honest, the end of the turn's quite near, isn't it? It's just our jamming flight to move after that. But there is going to be a few things to do, I think, in the admin phase. So, and I've not got any time left tonight. So I'll leave that now. That's 50 minutes anyway, and put that together. And tomorrow not. Yeah, work's going to get in the way again the next few days probably. I might get something done, maybe. But I've got the weekend coming up ahead, and big plans to do some stuff here. Because I think I'm going to get some peace and quiet to do it as well, to some extent. Also maybe want to try and set other game up on our table as well. But I'll definitely get back and get a bit of this done as well. Okay, so I'll be back sometime soon. Cheers.